English Speaking Skills 2. Lesson 3. Culture. After this lesson, students will be able to express feelings and offer another view on an experience, plus talking about a cultural shock they experienced. There are 3 main parts in this section. Let's start with the first one. Vocabulary review. Look at a picture of people expressing different emotions. Describe each person's feeling. Try to use the words you have learned from vocabulary tasks 2, if possible. Okay, here are suggested answers. These people are probably feeling happy, fascinated or in love, worried, sad, angry, and bored. If you use other words with similar meanings, those are correct too. Good job on describing people's feelings. Now, let's increase the level of difficulty. Look at 8 people here and describe their feeling. I will give you 1 minute. Now, here are possible answers. Is it difficult to describe their feelings? I'm sure it is, since some of emotions look quite similar from the outside. There are different levels of surprise and shock. And there is a special kind of shock, culture shock. So, what do you think culture shock means? Pause the video and try to explain this term from your understanding. Finished? Culture shock refers to the feeling of being nervous, worried, uncertain when someone lives in a new environment. They have to interact with a new culture that is totally different from their own. Now, read the infographic on your left. There are many customs across the world. How do you feel about each custom? Say your feelings after reading about each custom. Using the structures above. Let me give you an example about the custom in Thailand. Never touch a person's head? I find this custom in Thailand fascinating because it's similar to my culture. In Vietnam, we believe that touching someone's head is rude and brings bad luck. Now pause the video to practice with other customs on the map. Okay, let's move along. Next, role-play. In this activity, you should find a friend to practice together. There are 2 roles, Student A and Student B. Student A travels abroad and phones home after a week. Student B is their best friend. Student A has experienced a culture shock with a strange custom. Talk about what the custom was, how different it was from your culture, how you felt. Student B offers another positive view on this negative experience. Then you can switch roles after 1 turn. To remind you of how to offer another view, here are some structures. Look on the bright side. On a positive note. On the bright side. Pause the video to practice. If you can't find a partner, continue with the video. In this part, I will act as student B after I speak. There will be 30 seconds pause for you to respond. Pay attention, okay? The script shown on the screen is a suggestion for you, or you can converse in your own way. Let's start.
B is speaking. Who is there? Oh, hi A. Why do you sound so sad? You okay? What's wrong? Tell me. Yeah, that does sound uncomfortable. But look on the bright side. You will get used to that very soon. And you will have a good posture and a straight back while you're eating.
Now, let's switch role. I am A and you are B after I speak. There will be 30 seconds pause for you to respond. Now, let's start.
Hello. It's me speaking, A, your old friend. Well, where do I even begin? I have had a big shock yesterday. Do you know that in France, we can't rest our elbows on the table while eating? That is so strange. In Vietnam, no one would care when I do that. Here, people keep eyeing me like I'm a weirdo. I felt so embarrassed. And frustrated too. It was really uncomfortable because I always had to keep my hands down on my lap. Yeah, actually, you're right. It's no big deal, really.
Now, last activity. A short talk. So far, you have described and talked about culture shock. Now, prepare a talk from 1 to 2 minutes on the topic of culture. Talk about a culture shock you experienced. Use the bullet points to add more ideas in your talk. Also, if possible, try to use the challenge phrases on your right. You have 2 minutes before I show you an example answer.
The cultural shock that I experienced was when I moved to Hanoi for college last October. My family finds it totally acceptable to say be careful on your way out when someone leaves the house. We just think that accidents and unlucky things might happen if people are careless, so it is our habit to remind other people to always be careful. However, one time I said the same phrase to my roommate, and he got so angry. He asked me if I said that to call on terrible things to happen to him, if I wanted to jinx him or something. We got into an argument and stopped talking for a week. I was so surprised and also sad by his reaction because I only hoped he would be well and safe. I felt really homesick at that time since I thought that no one could understand my goodwill except my family. The people who helped resolve the misunderstanding were my parents. They explained to me that different people have different ways of understanding the same sentence, and I should tell my friend about this custom of my family. I did just that, and finally, my roommate understood. He said it was such a foreign thing since in his house, people only say bye. Besides, be careful on your way out sounded like a scary curse to him. Knowing that, I got used to saying bye to him instead. We have been good friends since.